Morning, everybody. Jim Adkins here from Adkins Results Coaching. I'm looking for a new intro. It seems I start with the same one all the time. It may be okay to be consistent, but being committed is different. Committed to making things better, committing to making it the best, committed to following through. This morning, somebody I love dearly mentioned to me that they would like to hear a little bit about commitment and how to maintain that commitment, how to maintain that focus when things get out of whack, how to keep that forward momentum when life just keeps throwing rocks at you, piles of crap in your way. It's not. Let's see. There's a formula for it, and I'll lay it out really quick in case that person has to run or march, whatever the case may be. But it's early; you have to excuse the eyes. But let's talk about it real quick, and let's put it into perspective. All right. When you make a commitment, when you make a decision to cut off everything else and move forward in a direction for a certain reason, there are a few things that take place. And and with this person, I know there's some habits that they have that are like my own that can derail or sabotage their success. One of those habits is having too many things going on at once. When you make a real commitment and you make a choice to cut off, that you've heard the expression, if you want to take the island, you burn the boat. Well, you don't start something full-hearted and then throw a bunch of other things on there that that get in your way. Now, does that mean you can't have more than one goal at one time? No. The massive action plan that you take towards any goal has to start with the goal. So let's back up and let's look at the commitment. Sometimes we call this the February effect with New Year's resolutions, or even January 15th at times, right? The February effect states that, most people, 98% of the people make a New Year's resolution, or that make a New Year's resolution, fall off by January 15th or February. Why? Well, they're not committed. They don't have a why, a compelling reason that pulls them forward. So let's go back for a second and calm down. When you make a decision, if you've thought that decision through, you didn't decide just to make the actions of the decision. That massive action plan comes later. Your first decision is always why. Why this? So let's look at what you've committed to first. And then it's not the process of what's taking place, but the reason for it. And I'll tell you why you normally do. If you make a good commitment, if you make a good decision, it's usually not based on the actions you're going to take. That's not what it is. It might be fun, but it's usually based on that compelling idea of what's at the end of the rainbow. Why are you doing this? What is it that pulls you forward on a daily basis when things get out of whack that you can look at and go, you know what? I know there's going to be stumbles, and I know there are other people involved in this world that I cannot avoid, and that's okay. I will learn to live through them, around them, or with them. And when those become the stumbling blocks because of the way other people are acting, or the things in your life just don't seem to be falling in place, something's out of whack with your compelling future. What you need to do is learn to review. So number one, on how to stay committed, get a clear vision of why you're doing what you're doing. I know I've said this a million times, and I know that when I repeat it, yeah, I know this, but sometimes it's good to hear it over and over, even for myself, right? So get a clear vision of why you're doing what you're doing. And I'm not talking about all the stuff on the fringe. I'm talking about that main idea. Let's say you've decided to start a new career, but that new career is only the stepping stone, or the diving board, or the launching pad to get you to where you want to go. You committed to that career for a reason. It's going to get you something. Now, when I say get you something, I'm not talking about things, because things are fleeting and change is easy. So those things are going to continue to happen, and things, you're never going to make you happy. So I wrote down the most important part of what you're after is progress, growth. Change is easy. Progress takes work. Progress takes focus. Okay. So you're probably doing what you're doing for growth. What kind of growth are you going to get? You're going to learn. You're going to create new information. You meet new people. You're going to, whatever those things are, and the process is growth. So always sit back and remember your reason why you're doing what you're doing. When you start out doing something and it becomes easier and easier to follow in that routine, life becomes smooth. The first pitfall you're going to have is when things are smooth, you feel like you have more time and more energy, especially if you're a high energy person and a busy person, and you start piling other things on top of that you can do, that you want to do, that you know you're going to do. And all of a sudden, you have this one direction. You have a good goal. It's compelling. It's pulling you, but now it's convoluted with a bunch of other activities. You're busier than ever, but you're not as productive as you could be. Learn to enjoy the fact that you're learning your trade or your craft so well that your path is easier. It doesn't mean fill it with more stuff. It means focus on what you're doing. There are two analogies on life that I can throw at you right now. One, life is long, right? Well, it's as long as you need it to be because you get what you get. Other people say, well, life is short. Enjoy it for the moment. And you got to do what you got to do. Well, listen, you don't want a life cluttered of busyness that's non-productive or not full of progress. You want a life that's compelling. You want a life that's fun. So as you look at the first thing and you're starting to lose commitment, things are getting rough and you can't remember why you're doing it, sit back, one, and remember your why. Number two, make sure that why is still compelling. Number three, review every day what your goal is. Now, if your goal is beyond what you're doing, good. Take your time, especially if you're young. You've got time. It doesn't have to happen right now. Okay. Does that mean it can't? No, but sometimes your commitment takes time. So review that. And then remember this: when things are out of whack, your focus has lost sight of what the end is, what the intended end is. When things are out of whack, when your life seems to be going chaotic and things just are not working out and they're not lining up and you're feeling like you're stressed and things, what has happened is you've taken your hands off the wheel of your initial goal that got you to smooth sailing. Grab a hold of that wheel, take control of your progress, and move forward. How do you stay committed? You tell yourself, this is why I'm doing it. This is what's at the end of the rainbow. Not the end, but the next step, right? So I hope that helps. I'll try to go back here a little bit right now and review before I go to the next video. The key to all of this is to raise your standards. And you've heard me say that a million times. Who are you? Who are you to you, not to others, to you? Raise your standards. Expect more from you. Remember why you made the first commitment, the number one commitment. Okay. Repeat that and make it compelling. Review it and make it compelling. If you're going to school, man, that progress is essential. And if it becomes easy, which it will, the better you get at it, it becomes easy. You don't need to fill your time with other things that make you busy, because being busy and being productive are two different things. Enjoy the fact that you've hit a groove and the universe has lined things up for you, and stay with it. Let the universe guide you. As soon as you take your hands off the wheel, you'll get messages and signs that this is the wrong road. Just a little off, I'm on the shoulder, or I've taken the off, or I've put too many things in my vehicle and now it's dragging me down. I hope that you can back off of that a little bit and remember where you're at. So stay committed. Marriage, love, finances, investments, all of those things take planning and they take work. Nothing is automatic except change. Change will always occur. Progress. Progress is what you're looking for. And that progression in life is what keeps you committed. It's really the compelling answer to why are you doing something? You're growing. All right. So take control. Take control of your progress. Don't just let it happen. Make a fresh start. So today's Monday. Some people use January as a fresh start. Hey, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. It's January 1st. I'm going to start the beginning of the year anew and do this. Well, do that every Sunday. Do it on Sunday. Sunday's the first day of the week. If you missed yesterday, start today. What's today? Today's Monday. It's almost 7 o'clock here where I'm at. It's beautiful outside wherever you're at. I don't know what time it is, but make it a beautiful day. Start today. Today is the day. It's the middle of the month. Whatever your excuse is, start today. All right. So fresh start. That's it. I love you. Being committed is about raising your standards and holding yourself. Now, on a little side note here, this is a love note, okay? If you're moving in the right direction, you know it and you feel it, and things start to line up. There's always going to be little things that pop up, generally because you've lost focus, you've added too many things, you're busy, not productive. That's what's probably going on right now. But don't. If you've committed to a direction that's unhealthy, it's okay to change directions at times. But if you've made a commitment and you signed a contract, you want to finish the contract the best you can be. You want to end that road or that term on a high note. You don't want to burn any bridges. You don't want to leave any bad footprints. You want to maintain your integrity, your standard of excellence. Even when the world around you doesn't seem to fit, as you rise to it and you're afraid you're going to become somebody you're not, because basically you become the sum of the 5 most people you spend the most time with, right? If those people are not the peer group you want, raise your standards, move yourself to another position or level, and start looking for the people or become the person you want others to see. All right. Hope I didn't ramble too much. I love you. I know it gets tough. Personal story, and then I'll get off here. Commitment. I've been a martial arts instructor for over 40 years. There are times when I get going through the motions and it becomes easy to do what I do. I can do it in my sleep. And that's not a good thing. It's not fair to my students. Even though I give quality instructions in my sleep, it's easy to do. And I start adding more things to my life. I started singing more and new businesses and promising videos and promising this. And then what I soon realized is that all that busy activity in my life has got me away from what I truly do. If I can find that note real quick, I will share with you some of the top things that I'm looking at today. My map of motion, brain food. There is. I'm not going to be able to catch it real quick. Basically, like Apple computers, let's do this. Start with your why, then your what, then your how. I think that's how it goes. If you start with your why, your what will manifest itself, and then your how will be easy. So for me, if I forget my why am I teaching? Why do I do what I do? It becomes easy to lose commitment to not only myself, but my students and the growth that takes place. The industry of martial arts is not my favorite industry anymore. I've said that recently. Why? The people that I see in certain circles of martial arts are just not the people I want to be like. So most of them are bullies now, and and a lot of them don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they're argumentative, and they think they know everything, and they don't, and they can't be taught, and and I think it's always been that way for some people. I think the problem is my view of what's taking place. I have lost my focus on the way, and therefore shifted myself, lowered my standards, and ended up in a position I don't want to be in. If I raise my standards, I will again join or lead the people that I know are out there. Same thing for you. I hope it helped. I'm going to jump on and do day 11 for our 30 days of positive, and we'll see what happens there. Till next time, on your mark, get set, and I love you. Grow.